What's up, guys? So, in today's video, I'm basically going to break down my first full year of YouTube. The ups and downs, the ins and outs, everything I've learned over the last year. And basically my thoughts, my do's and don'ts. And we'll get into a couple things. But first, I'd like to thank everybody that has subscribed to the channel over the past year. July of last year, I started with 23 subscribers. I've had this channel for over 15 years. When I was a lube tech at Honda, I started my channel because my buddies and I were into Hondas like we are now. If you check back far enough, you'll see some of those videos. I posted periodically over the years, didn't really stay consistent. I took a big hiatus at one point, and that's probably what hurt me. I feel like if I would have stayed consistent at that point, I probably would have gotten further a lot faster. I turned 40 this year. Last year I had just turned 39. I feel like everybody's going to say, there's always that opportunity, there's always that chance. I may have missed that chance or that opportunity. You never know. So that's one thing I want to get into, is that one thing I learned over the last year was you have to be consistent. Not every video is going to hit. At the beginning, I was getting 1, 2, 3, 4 views. After posting consistently, I started to get 20, 30, 100, and so on and so forth. The algorithm on YouTube had changed over the years. So jumping back into it, I really had no idea what to do. Nowadays, people like shorts. They like something that's flashy and it keeps you watching. That's ultimately what YouTube wants. They want you to keep watching. So short videos that are flashy, that show something that will draw your attention in right away, is something that will help your channel grow. Along with other content that people can relate to. People don't want to see everything that, the same thing everybody else is posting. That's what I liked about catching a lot of my friends off guard when I started doing this, because it was all genuine. Like, it was just natural. None of these people are used to the camera. I mean, I filmed us racing before. That's why I started it. I said to myself, I have all this content anyway. Why don't I do something with it? And then to promote my friends, I thought, I could kill two birds with one stone. Again, a lot of my friends, they've gotten this far without any type of help from anything. Neither myself nor them do they know anybody, big that helped us with this platform or their platforms or anything like that. These guys go to work every day. They work very hard. They have families, big families, a lot of overhead, and they're still able to do these things. In my opinion, that's more relatable than people just posting stuff that everybody posts. Now it's just a competition of who can post a better video with a better thumbnail. And now I'll get into thumbnails. That's something that helped me a lot too, was the flashier the thumbnail, the better. People are drawn by certain things. So you can look back at my videos and see how they progressed over time. Some of the thumbnails I actually changed. Once I realized what I needed to do, I went back and I changed the thumbnail. Some of them I kept the same. Maybe somewhere down the line, those videos will become more popular. I have some videos that have a couple hundred views. I have videos that have 3,000 views, 4,000 views. That's pretty good for a small platform. Again, I don't know anybody famous. I didn't have anybody help me start this platform. One day I just decided to do it. And, fast forward again, a year, we're at 520 subscribers. Now, the first level of monetization is 500, where you're able to have people subscribe to get better content and they get paid for it. You can go live and get stars. That really wasn't my goal. I'm shooting for the 1,000 mark. That's where I'll start to make money off of views. Facebook did monetize me. That was random. I was coming back from Capital one day and they said, hey, you're monetized, now you're able to make money off of Facebook. So I started posting more to Facebook, and that was difficult because I had been pushing YouTube. So now that I wasn't making money off YouTube, I was pushing more towards Facebook, which made everything a lot more difficult because posting to every platform periodically every day is not easy. Anybody will tell you that. And every platform is different. So my videos for YouTube, they had to be taken in landscape. And my videos for Instagram and Facebook, they have to be taken in like the vertical, up and down. So I saw people like out the track, they would have like their phone and the GoPro. I'm not that fancy yet. I'm still learning. But yeah, like I'm also learning from other people that I see doing this. And that helped me along the way too. YouTube doesn't help you. You literally have to know these people or just go around and promote yourself. I feel like they're making you put that work in like it's a job. It shouldn't be easy, but over time, if you stay consistent, eventually it will work. Now, like I said, just don't give up. If this is something that you always wanted to do, I would suggest posting as much as possible. Now, I love Instagram and I love Facebook. I'm making money off of Facebook. It's pennies at this point. If I posted more content to that platform, I would make more money. I like YouTube. YouTube allows me to make videos, do different editing. It's different content. Facebook and Instagram just want like 10, 20, 30-second videos that are flashy and keep you looking and stuff like that. In my opinion, that's cheap and it's easy. A lot of people just use their phone, they're using CapCut, or they're using some type of app to help them like AI generate the video. I'm old school. I'm still doing it the old way. Putting everything on a laptop, editing, cutting, putting all the audio in myself. And that takes time. And that's something I also learned from watching like the Outdoor Boys, other channels that I watch. Editing takes so much time. It's a job in itself. It could take a couple days for me to make a video that's an hour long. And that's because there was so much that you had to break it down and put this here and do these effects and you want to do that. And then exporting it and then uploading it. It's a lot. It's a lot. And now that, I'm getting closer and closer to that 1,000 subs for YouTube, some of that content I have, I might be subject to copyright once I do get fully monetized, and I might have to change some of those videos. So we'll wait to see about that. But I'm going to switch up the video. It's been a long, so I'm going to cut it in between. So I'll be right back. So I also missed Pan Am. I missed Nopi this weekend. Kind of disappointed in that, but I have some goals, that I'm going to talk about later also, kind of jumping around. But I have some goals and I need to focus on them right now. So content and, racing and events isn't really important. So, there's a possibility that I might take a break. We'll talk about that at some point again. But yeah, this whole content creating thing, I don't know how to exactly explain it, but it made me somebody that I guess, I've gone through my motions over the years. I've been, 10 different people, man. My personality, I'm always the same person, but I feel like we grow. And as we get older and we grow, things look differently. So doing content, meeting these people, going to these events, it kind of made me the person I feel like I should be. It made me rounded, seasoned, weathered, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, man, it's a good time. And I suggest if you go to these events or there's something that you do often, whether, I'm a big concert goer, I love concerts and stuff like that too, but if there's something that you go to often and you can make content from that, I would suggest starting there. It's a little bit more difficult with like concerts and music because of copywriting and stuff like that, but if you're witness to something and you could be consistent with it, then I would suggest using that as like a crutch and starting from there. I always love cars. I've always been into racing cars, Hondas, specifically. but I am an enthusiast. I've had anything from a nitrous Toyota Matrix, you know what I mean, to another nitrous Hyundai. You know, again, you could put me in pretty much anything and I'm gonna hook it up. You know, it's a challenge to me. At 40, I had to be practical. I would love to have a little car that I could beat around, but just like when I was younger, your project car couldn't be your daily, and it just becomes a nightmare. So after I move and I get on my situated and I have a garage, I'll look into something like that for sure. Without a doubt, before my end of days, I would like to build like a little single cam turbo setup, something clean, doesn't have to be crazy fast, but you know, something I could go do hood rat Honda shit with my friends. So yeah. I'm gonna give a couple of shout outs. You know, at the beginning when my friends and I started doing this, it's not like it was a joint like thing. I just started forcing people. I'm like, not even forcing. I was like, hey, I'm taking videos of you guys racing anyway, so I'm putting it into use. And they were like, okay. So my buddy Josh McQuiggan, Mr. McSwayze, he hit me up, you know, shortly after finding out that I wanted to do this. And he said, hey man, you know, we're going out. We're going to Mexico. It was King of the Blacktop, and you know, it'd be great content for your channel. So we shoot out there, got some good content. That was basically the stardom. And I want to thank him for pushing me and helping me to continue to do what I'm doing. Also, my boy Joey, Uncle Joe, he now none of these people, they knew I knew what I wanted to do, but it's not like, you know, I'm not the type of person to expect anything from anybody. You don't have to reciprocate, but also I can only be taken advantage of so much. But that's besides the point. Uncle Joe looked out. He was like, hey man, like, I want you to do this. You have a lot of potential. You just need better, you know, equipment. So he bought me a GoPro Hero, and it was just a domino effect after that. My phone at that point was a 13 Pro Max. It was great, but again, if I want to level up, I had to change. So Joe got me the GoPro Hero. I bought a bunch of accessories for that, and then I went and bought the iPhone 17. After that, I got a gimbal, I got a little drone, you know, all the basic stuff. I just kind of wanted to get a handle on everything before I went out and spent money, because I still don't know what I'm doing. You know, my boys Josh and Justin, they have a couple fast Hondas. I've been around those guys since I was 12 or 13 years old. Those are some of my OG friends, them and my buddy Jim that's in my videos. Those guys, they were determined to build some monsters. You know, Josh had a turnkey 8-second car. Justin currently has a turnkey 9-second car. They put a lot of time and money and effort into these vehicles. And, you know, again, there's a lot of people out there doing this, but, you know, these are like my brothers, so they're just special people to me. And so I just want to put them on blast, whether they liked it or not. But, you know, they also hit me up when they were going to events. They let me know, hey, we're going to a test and tune, so that allowed me to get a lot of content. You know, even shout out to some of our tracks that we go to. Cecil County had Fast Life Fest. They reached out and said, not personally, but just through social media, saying that they were looking for photographers and videographers. So Josh was like, hey, he tagged me. I emailed them. They said, hey, we'll give you a media pass and pay for the ticket for the event, as long as you create like a cloud so that we can see all the content from the event. So that was pretty cool. That helped me get a lot of exposure. You know, it's not like I'm important, but when people start to see you just like racing cars, you know, they feel comfortable, and they know that you're going to get that content. So if they miss something, like I've already gotten video of people's cars and, you know, they didn't have anybody to video. And I'm like, hey man, I got your car. And they're like, oh, thank you so much. Like, that's why I do it. You know, I don't do things mostly any time for myself. I just genuinely like, you know, its integrity. It shows that there's still good people out there. genuinely good people. I'm not looking for anything. I'm having a blast, whether I'm racing or not. I'm 40. I've raced. I've built cars. I've done it all. Um, at some point, I feel like I'll get back into it. But right now, a big thing to me is moving. So I'm probably honestly going to take a break from, YouTube for a little bit, content on social media, because I need to focus on some things. That's why I wanted to do this video. I don't know if it's going to be a month, 2 months, 3 months, but I'll be back. And when I'm back, I'll have some content for you guys. And I just want it to be original. I missed a couple events. There's always next year. I've been into this for so long. I've missed tons of events. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to continue to keep doing this. And ultimately, that is my message to you. Keep doing it. Don't give up. Keep posting, keep editing, keep posting on social media as much as possible, and don't give up. Nothing good ever comes easy. And I could go on for days, man. This has been a great opportunity to meet people that I looked up to. Dave with the EF hatchback, the fastest EF hatchback in the world. He is just like us, me and my boys. So we get along great. Meeting him was awesome. Again, I could go on for days. There's tons of people that I enjoy being around doing this. So I look forward to keep doing this in the future. So get used to it. Stay tuned. Have a blessed one, not a stressed one.